Welcome everybody, welcome back to Homestead Heart. And today I am inside getting ready to process more of the goldenrod, you all. And actually I'm very excited about sharing this with you because some of you asked if I would share how do I go about processing it. And I'm going to show you. It is so simple. You don't have to do it this way, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. Now you all, when I went outside this morning to harvest some more of this beautiful, beautiful goldenrod, I was actually met with wasps everywhere. They were everywhere. The thing about it though is that they were so cold they couldn't move. They literally was just sitting on the flowers of the goldenrod. And as the wind blew, they just kind of blew with it, but they didn't move because they were cold. It was cold this morning. So I was able to easily maneuver in and out, harvest what I needed to harvest. They didn't fly, they didn't do anything, they were stuck. So I'm like, okay, this is working. But you all, I'm gonna share with you how I process this goldenrod, and it's very simple. Now the method that I'm gonna be using today, I'm gonna be using my dehydrator to process this. But if you don't want to use your dehydrator, you can literally take this, bunches, correct? You can take the bunches and just tie string around and hang it up to dry. Perhaps maybe if you have a greenhouse, you can put it in there to dry if it's nice and warm and humid in there. Perhaps in a laundry room or something like that, or in your kitchen. You can literally hang this up to dry. It'll take a little longer, but it will dry, okay? But I'm gonna go ahead and get this inside of my dehydrator, okay? Now I have my other dehydrator tray right here, and what I'm going to be doing with this, you all, is using trays for leaves and trays specifically for the flower, okay? Now let me get this. Okay, so I have the tray for the leaves and a tray for the flower, and what I'm going to do is just kind of tilt you all down so that maybe you can see a little bit better, because I don't want to edit, right? Okay, so all I'm going to do is just literally take this stem here. Now these are the leaves. I'm just going to pull the leaves off just like that, and I'm going to pop them onto my other dehydrator tray, okay? Now, and with this, I'm going to cut this entire stem off here. I don't need this part, but I'm going to cut this entire stem off here, and I'm just going to put this on my tray. That's it. Okay? I'm just going to take all of my leaves. You remember when you used to get in trouble? And Big Mama and my dad used to tell you to go to the switch tree? You remember when you had to go pick your own switch? And you better not come back with a little one. Come back with a little one if you want. Boy, you be in some serious trouble. Now, one of the things that some of you asked was, what do I do about those little crab spiders that are found inside, or all over really, these plants or these herbs outside? I'm going to tell you what I do. Now this one, the flowers haven't even bloomed yet, and that's perfectly fine. I'm going to pop this in with the leaves and keep it moving. So now I'm going to show you. This is my other bucket, and I put them in upside down this time so I could just easily grab the stems and take them out of the bucket, right? But I'm going to tell you what I do. Like when I harvest them, whatever I put them in, once I get them all together, this one's broken, I literally will like thrash it just a little bit on whatever it is that I have. Like in my case, it was my cart. So I took them, all that I harvested, and I dumped them out in my garden cart. And I took my time and went through each and just picked up like 3 or 4 or so at a time. And on the side of my garden cart, I literally would just thrash them about, I don't know, 4 or 5 times or so, to kind of help maybe to knock any excess pests off, like the spiders and whatnot. Just knock them off and see if that would make a difference, because you all, I'm telling you, those little spiders are everywhere. And I know some of you are going to instantly be turned off by that, but don't be, okay? Don't be. Don't let that get to you. Just, if you even have to wash them, that's fine too. You can wash them. Give them a rinse. You're going to have to let them sit out and dry in the sun. But then you can still do that, right? You can still do, I mean, think about it. It's okay for them to get wet. When it rains, they get wet. You just got to let them dry, okay? But like I said, I just take them and thrash them on the side of whatever I'm using. And the hope is to knock off any spiders. Now, one of the things I will tell you is that I'm also like very careful. Like when I harvest, I always look closely at the flowers, because sometimes you can have the larva, icky gooey looking stuff, sitting on the leaves, right? And so if I see that, I won't even bother with that particular flower of goldenrod. I'll just leave it and move on to the next one, okay? Because either whatever is in there, more than likely more spiders, whatever hatches, it's okay. I don't want that inside, and I certainly don't want those flowers, okay? So I just take them and just put them on my tray, just like so. And I'm taking the flowers, the leaves, and putting them on a different tray. And I'm going to put as many of them on here as I can get. And so far, as I look on my counters and whatnot, so far, I don't see any little bugs or any little spiders crawling around anywhere. So that's a good thing. Now this one is nothing but leaves right here. And I think I harvested this just for the leaves. And as I get the leaves on the tray, I'll just start to spread them out and put them in the dehydrator. Okay? Now, if for some reason, some of those little, oh, I know I harvested this strictly for the leaves. But if for some reason you do find that you didn't get rid of all of the spiders, the little bitty spiders, look, don't let this gross you out. It's okay. I just can't do it. I can't do it with those spiders. I can't deal with those spiders. I can hear you right now. I just can't deal with them spiders. I can't deal with no bugs. Look, trust me. You are looking at a person who absolutely can't stand bugs all over the place, right? But one thing I can tell you is this, is that no matter what you're dealing with in the garden, there will be bugs, okay? They're going to be there. There's spiders in the garden too. They're everywhere, all right? But you do have a particular spider that loves this. I mean, you probably have more than that, but the most commonly known is the crab spider. And they're all sometimes everywhere, but it was so cold last night, I don't think that I'll have much of a problem with them, okay? Now the bottom leaves here don't look so good. Actually, none of these. So I'm not gonna worry with these. They just don't look so good. So I'm not gonna bother with those. But these, the smaller ones, yes, I'll take them and I will cut off the stem and I will keep it moving. Yes, I will. All right, and then this that's left over, I'll just toss it out into the compost bin. Okay, but you all, let me get this. And like I said, another thing about when you process it is that if you notice, if you know, even if you don't get all of the spiders and pests and whatnot off, that's okay, because once you put them in the dehydrator, trust me, they're not going to be happy in that dehydrator either. Okay? They won't survive in that dehydrator. So you're still going to be okay. All right? So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this tray done, and then get these in the dehydrator. And hopefully you all have been able to find some of your own, because some of you didn't even know that you can use this medicinally, and you see it all the time, but you didn't even know it. So I'm glad that I was able to share that with you all as well, right? But one of the other things that I wanted to mention is that somebody made a good point with saying that you do have to be very, very mindful that if you suffer from certain ailments, you know, but this is really not just with this particular herb, not just with goldenrod, really with any herb. It's not just specific to this one. So you really, with any herb, you all, you want to always check with your healthcare provider. You always want to do your own research to make sure that this will not conflict with any medications that you're taking, right? But that's just with any herb. That's not just with goldenrod, all right? But you have to do your own research. That's with any herb. You have to do your own research so that you'll know what works for you, what will work for you, and what might not be a good fit for you, all right? Not that the herbs are bad. Nope, no spiders. I thrashed them pretty good. So perhaps you all, this will work for you, but you got to do your own research. So I'm going to get this popped into the dehydrator. I have a 9-tray Excalibur food dehydrator. And if you like, I will put the link to that down in the description box below. Maybe I'll pop it in our Amazon shop, and you can go there and have a look at it. Okay? I think I got room for one more flower right there. Hold on. I'm going to put one more flower. Yes, I am. Well, I could even just pull these right on off of here just like this. Since the stems are so long, I could just pull this right on off and make them individual stems. And just lay them across there just like that. And they will dehydrate just fine, okay? So I'm gonna get these in the dehydrator, but I'm gonna grab the ones that I have already done, and I'm gonna show you how to get them put up. So I'll be right back. And I'm not editing. Okay. Voila, I'm back. All right, you all. So now what I'm gonna do, let me move this out of the way. Clean this mess up right here. Put this here. Now, what I'm gonna do, you all, is just show you, it's so simple what I do next. You can literally, and I have a half-gallon jar here, okay? And you can literally just take these and drop them in. But I'm going to show you just how dry. They might not look like it. They might look the same as they did before I put them in the dehydrator. But I'm going to show you all. Let me see. Look. You can tell there's a slight difference. You can tell this one looks a little drier, a little paler in color, right? But look at this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull this off of the stem. I don't know if you saw that powder, but look at this. See? These are dry flower leaves now. And I'm just going to pop them in the jar. And no, I'm not going to bother with stripping them off of the stems. I'm just going to get them down in the jar. Okay? And these are just the flowers only. Now, if you want to mix your flowers and your leaves together, that's perfectly fine, but I'm not gonna mix mine together. I'm gonna keep them separate. I'm gonna push this on down in the jar. Because as you can see, you can get quite a bit in this jar if you push them down, okay? So I'm gonna sit this to the side. Let me just take all of that and get it in there. Hold that button, thank you. And then I'll take the rest of these. I don't need that big piece. But I'm just gonna get them all down in my jar. Hey, come on down here with me. There we go, so y'all can see. Just take your stems after you've dried them, stems and flowers, get them in the jar. Now, if you're wondering how much of the goldenrod should you store, might not even need that. How much of this should you store? Well, that depends on you and your family. Because if you do decide to make this into a tea, for optimal benefits, you can drink this in the form of a tea up to 3 or 4 times a day. Yeah. 3 or 4 times a day, you can drink this in the form of a tea. If you made it into a tincture, and actually if you made it into like tea, of course, you would crush this and put it either into a little mini infuser, like one of these, or into a beautiful teapot. One second. I have it in my cabinet. There it is. Ugh. One of our beautiful viewers sent me this gorgeous little teapot. And what it has inside is an infuser. Come off of here. It's being stubborn. You put the pot down. I want to break it. But anyway, okay, I can't fight with it right now. But in any case, you put your tea leaves or flowers down inside here, and then you pop this down inside here, like so, and then you put the water in and you put it on your stove and you heat it up and you let it steep for about 15 minutes, okay? Now, if you're gonna do your goldenrod needs to steep a minimum of 10 minutes. But you can let it steep 15 minutes, 20 minutes, however long you want it to steep, but a minimum of 10 minutes is gonna be required, okay? In order for you to get those maximum benefits. So now you see how easy it is to collect the flowers, and you see how easy it is to store the flowers and put them away. Now, like I said, if you wanted to strip these, if you just wanted to take the stems and just strip the stem of all the flowers, just like that, and just drop them in there just like that, feel free to do that, okay? You don't have to put these stems in there if you don't want to. But this is just the quickest way to do it. Now, this is my first half-gallon jar of goldenrod. I don't need that. I'm going to continue to press it down. And everybody knows how I feel about tea. I drink tea every day. Some kind of tea every day. Even the moringa every day, right? So, you all, I know for me, alone, having a nice bit of this is going to be very important. And that's why I'm harvesting it in batches like this, so I just don't have a ton of it just sitting around. I want to be able to process it when I bring it in. All right, so far I'm almost done with this tray. And also in my dehydrator, I am not overcrowding my dehydrator with the trays because of how thick the flowers are. literally, you all, what I am doing is skipping a space. So I'll put one of the shelves in, skip a space, put another shelf in. That gives plenty of room for the goldenrod to dry and for the airflow to get all over these flowers. I just don't overcrowd it, but that's just my opinion. You can pack them in there however you see fit, and use any kind of dehydrator that you have to make this work, okay? Now, you know what? One of the things that, who keeps calling me? I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video, okay? I'll call you back. All right. Come on now. Okay. All right, you all. And I'm dropping it too. So yes, feel free, you all, to dry these however you see fit. Okay? Inside, outside, it doesn't matter. You dry them to, you know, use whatever means you have to keep them nice and dry. Okay? To get them nice and dry. Now, one of the things I forgot to mention yesterday when I was talking about the benefits of using goldenrod, and one of the things I forgot to mention, other than, you know, we know about how it helps with urinary tract infection and kidney stones and all of that, because it does tend to completely flush out your kidneys, right? But one of the other things that I forgot to mention is that how it helps with gout. Yeah. People who suffer from gout, muscle spasms and things of that nature, this helps with that. Yes, it does. So that's something that I did not know. I'm still reading about goldenrod. Okay? I'm still reading about it. I'm going to take this one out. That stem is a little too thick to go in there. See how thick that is? I'm not putting that in there. That's a whole branch. But I didn't realize that. So if you have family members that suffer from gout, then that's something you might want to consider. I have a family member that suffers from gout, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to save or do like an entire jar of this and just kind of sit it to the side to see if they would like to have it, because I would love to see how this would benefit them, right? Because gout, I mean, think about it. Gout is a very painful condition for people who suffer from it. Okay? So that's another thing that you need to consider when it comes to goldenrod. And I think I mentioned how it lowers blood pressure and how it's good for inflammation, and how it's really beneficial if you are suffering from allergies. Okay? Now, I know some people say that this is so similar to ragweed to them that it affects their allergies, and I'm not a physician, so I can't speak into that, whether it does or doesn't. But I do know that from what I've read, it should not affect you. It should actually do the opposite. It should actually help with allergies, not be a negative impact. But like I said, I'm not a physician. I don't know. You know, I'm not a physician. I don't know. But you all, this has so many benefits. And again, I'm going to tell you to do your own research about the goldenrod. And again, I want to remind you, if you do decide to harvest the goldenrod, you all, please don't take these from the side of highways and roads and things of that nature, because I'm telling you, you know, you have to think about all of that comes from these big diesel trucks as they go down the highway, cars and fumes and all of that from the exhaust. You really don't want that in your body, because it is going to coat. All of that is going to coat these beautiful little delicate flowers. Then you're going to dry them and put them in your storage, and then you're going to be drinking it thinking you're doing something good for yourself when you're actually hurting yourself. So if you, wherever you get them from, make sure that they are a good distance away from a main road, okay? Make sure they're a good distance away. All right? So now, this is it. This is it. Ooh, I got a mess right there. But this is it, you all. Once I get the rest of those dried, all I'm gonna do is take this. Now y'all can come up here. Put a label on. Can y'all see me? Come on, come on, come on. Put a label on it, you all. And then, ooh, give me a sec. Okay, there we go. Let me fix you. There we go. Got to straighten you up. Okay, so then I'll just take this and put a label on it. Put what it is and the date. And I will put this away with the rest of my tea. Okay, so now you all, and actually I have them up here in my cabinet above my stove. All right, because like I said, I drink tea all the time. And my moringa leaves and all of that, they're right here because I can just grab it and make whatever kind of tea I want. And so this right here is going to be a wonderful addition to that, the beautiful goldenrod. So like I said, I still have more to harvest because I do have family that suffers from that ailment, that gout, and I want to see if they would like some of this. So I want to make sure I harvest plenty. I want to make sure I harvest plenty so that I can do just that. All right, so y'all get out there and get to harvesting your goldenrod. Get out there and get to getting it. All right, and put it up. Remember, we talked about this is flu season. This is that virus season. And this right here is excellent for treating influenza from what I've read. Okay, so it's excellent for treating influenza, and it definitely can be used for preventative measures. Is it preventive or preventative? One of the two, you know what I'm saying? So it can definitely be used for that. So you all definitely consider, if you have goldenrod in your area, go ahead and get your hands on some, all right? And get it put away for you and your family. And if you don't need it, that's okay. You got it just in case you do. And you got it just in case somebody else needs it too. All right, you all? So that's going to do it for the beautiful goldenrod video. I have more to do. If I do decide to make a tincture out of the goldenrod, I will take you all along with me for that, okay? And when I make the tea, I will be sharing that with you as well, all right? It's simple, but I'll be sharing that with you as well, all right? So y'all, that's gonna do it for this video. If you haven't done so already, please give our video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Oh, and before I forget, you all, I really wanted to hear from you in the comment section. Those of you who have used goldenrod, please post it in the comment section below and let us know. Let everybody know how this has benefited you, okay? We would love to hear your little stories on the benefits of goldenrod and how it has helped you. All right, you all? So please share that information, because sometimes the more knowledge we have about something, then that would be the motivator that we need to go out and do it and get it for ourselves, okay? All right, you all. So again, thank you all so much again for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you, and I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Y'all see I had some canning to do. Look at this. I canned some beautiful turkey sausage. Yes, I did. Homemade turkey sausage. Yes, I did. And another thing, we're having my homemade chili tonight for dinner. But y'all, look at my bell peppers. When did I store these? September 22nd. And look at what I got. I'm telling y'all, I use this stuff every day. Whatever we take and we harvest out of our garden, I use this stuff because it's the truth. And it don't even take long for this to dehydrate. I might put it in some warm water for about 10 to 15 minutes to give it a chance to rehydrate, and then I add it to whatever it is that I'm cooking. If it's the soup, I don't have to rehydrate it. I just drop them into my soup, and they smell so good. Smell them. Smell them. Y'all smell it? Oh, y'all can't smell it. I'm sorry. That's a whole nother video. Let me see y'all later.